Me siento muy emocionada, muy con sentimientos encontrados muy buenos.
Estoy de visita en Oxapampa y gracias a Dios conocí al caballero Samuel.
It was amazing. It changed my life. Even changed my decision making, everything. It changed me a lot.
De verdad que me ha caído, pero como que a pelo, porque necesitaba, creo, justo en ese momento escuchar algo así. Así que lo recomiendo bastante, que entren a la web y averigüen más. Yo voy a averiguar más del tema, porque realmente me ha gustado mucho.
Hello, welcome to the show, Daisy's show. Very unusual show. Let me explain a little bit. Sam Bell, I have a guardian angel, Daisy, who's on my right-hand side. I don't see her. I don't feel her. She downloads telepathically information to me. I'm an empath. So, 1996, September 21st, I was a minister in training with Sylvia Celeste Brown. That evening was Rosh Hashanah time, and her spirit guide is Francine. That evening, Sylvia is a full trance channel. That evening, Rahim came through. Very powerful. Very, very, very powerful channeling. And that night around 3 o'clock, a light came out of my chest. It was shaped like a point within a circle. It eclipsed out of my chest, went out of me to eternity, went into me eternity. It was kind of a pearly white, and it just felt like absolute, total, unconditional love. Like if you're a mother and you're holding your healthy newborn in your arms, or you're a father and you're holding your newborn daughter in your arms, or your newborn son. It's that same feeling, just more. And I went into the light, found myself, quote, in fifth, sixth dimension, described in Earth Pilgrim terms, and received a blessing from an entity there in a column of light who is called David. I don't know who David is. I know he's somebody important on the other side. Nobody said his name was David. You just got there, you knew his name was David. And I got a blessing to work with guardian angels to help people learn their lessons with the least amount of pain, something I couldn't imagine, never thought of, never asked for. And so came back and just all kinds of very interesting and very, very, very interesting things started happening spiritually. And for 2 years, I channeled guardian angels. At the time, I'm a 25 years licensed California speech and language pathologist, LSP 3037, 27 full-time staff through offices, Santa Monica, Pasadena, and Beverly Hills. I'm pretty busy, and had a home in New Zealand, condo in Mammoth, little house in West LA. And correction, no, at that time I was living in San Jose, California, in Willow Glen. Correction. But I had the staff in the offices. I was statewide for the most part, running around on my porch like a nut. Basically working with cerebral palsied and autistic. So my favorite client would be someone who is nonverbal, has never talked. And the first therapy, I get them to start doing some talking. It's very cool, very, very cool. I'm just using behavior modification techniques and speech and language pathology skills with the Dr. Lovas program out of UCLA, Behavior Mod. And I just adapted everything to speech and language. Done that 20-something years. And then, around age 45, you start looking around, thinking about stuff. Why am I here? Where am I going? That sort of stuff. Why is all this stuff happening? and contacted Sylvia. She contacted me back and requested I come in on Saturday. She'd help me that same day. She asked her secretary, Michael, to offer for me to be trained as a minister in training, which is very cool. Very, 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 very cool. Because I was into communication. I'm into communication. And she waived all the fees, trained me, certified me as a hypnotist. She trained me herself. And she gave me some training on cell memory therapy. So I took my speech and language pathology skills and my audiology skills and improved them somewhat with some neuroscience skills. Went to a very nice program with Brain Science International here in Northern California. And neuroscience is pretty cool. You can see what's going on inside your brain at the same time that you're doing it. It's very cool, very cool. You can record it, download it, upload it. So, speech and language, I work on attending skills, looking and listening, tuning in with your eyes and tuning in with your ears, tuning out with your eyes, tuning out with your ears, and only focusing on the specific incoming stimuli. And I work on oral motor, bite, chew, swallow, speech articulation, which is basically the same thing, but you're paying attention to what your tongue is doing, because you don't pay attention to what your tongue is doing when you're communicating. You're just like looking at somebody and talking. You don't think about it. It comes from a different level inside. Correction, it can come from a different level. Actually, an infinite amount of levels. It's one continuous thing. People think you got conscious and subconscious. Not really. It's a continuation. So if you're an off-planet entity, you're still using the same consciousness, but it's at a different level. And for individuals who are incarnated in 3D on the Earth plane, like here, the resonances are pretty dense. It's heavy here, it's thicker here. So the frequencies that we tend to function in are not the same frequencies that are occurring on other dimensions, or in other spiritual dimensions, or other physical dimensions. So, speech and language, went to the other side, got a blessing to work with angels. So for 2 years I did a very cool stuff. All my wild boar hunting friends, duck hunting friends thought, poor Sam, he's worked too hard, he's lost it. Which I don't blame him, I wouldn't believe it either. Somebody told me they could talk to angels. My mom said, Sammy, don't tell anybody. You're going to lose your medical license. I'm like, Mom, I'm not going to lie. So, everything changed September 21st, 1996. For 2 years I channeled angels. Other than the few people that I channeled for, thought, he looks normal, but I don't know. And that was if they're giving me the benefit of the doubt. Most people are like, huh? No. And that's how I would have been. If I was sitting in a cafeteria in a mall shopping center and somebody came up and said, hi, I would like to channel your angel if it's okay, it's free. I'd look at them and go, no thank you. Real firm. And if they asked me again, I would stand up and look in their face and suggest that they leave, or I will escort them out the door. No joke, and I'd escort them out the door. The bigger they are, the more I'll escort them. So I met Sylvia, went up the light, got a blessing to work with angels, came back for 2 years, channeled angels, blah, blah, blah. Everybody thinks I'm nuts. I'm like, no, it's the honest to God truth. Now, of course, I'm still licensed speech pathologist doing speech and language pathology. I'm channeling angels for the nurses, for the physician's assistants, for the MDs, for the... A lot of lessons to learn. Earth is a school. Okay. So I'm in San Francisco. I'm pretty agitated because everybody thinks you're a psychic. Like you're going to tell them if their auto mechanic's cheating. Or, is your boyfriend cheating? And I'm like, no. I work with angels. Angels communicate with Source. They're a messenger. Earth's a school. You're here to learn lessons. I'm here to help you with the least amount of pain. Learn these lessons that So rarely did I get somebody who really wanted to communicate with their angel, with Source energies, to learn why they're at an obstacle or they're suffering so much, or if just usually it's confirmation they're doing everything right or trying their best. So I'm in San Francisco. I'm watching TV, the Sally Jesse Raphael show in New York. The mother of a missing girl is weeping into the camera saying, "Please help me find my daughter," and her lip is going like this. Well, my lip started doing the exact same thing, and I've never done that before. It just, really, like that, you start to cry and kind of fight it. Okay, so I go around the channels, click, 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 come back, she's still going like that, my lip's still going like that. And I'm like, holy mackerel, that's so weird. And it's kind of like somebody's going like this on your lip. So you really notice it. So the show ended, and I asked Daisy, my guardian angel, At this point, I'm like, I'm not going to try to channel anybody else's angel because they're asking these stupid, silly questions. Where can I make more money? Blah, blah, blah. So I asked Daisy, should I go look for this girl? And Daisy said yes. And I asked her, would I find something? And Daisy said yes. I'm like, okay. Get in the Volvo. Daisy goes left, go right, go left, go right. I go here, I go there. She goes park here. She brings me down the path. Behind the Cliff House in San Francisco, she brings me down to a wall that's at the water's edge, and the wall is cement, and down is a chute in the cement wall, and down in that chute is filled with water, and a big chunk of cement inside the hole with seaweed on top, and it's all floating. So Daisy says, "That's right down there." So I'm standing on the wall, looking down there, like, I don't know, I don't see anything. What am I going to do? So I walked all around. Daisy brought me back to the same spot. It's right down there. Put my toe in, wiggled the top of the rock, put my foot just into the water a little bit, figured this big piece of cement, wiggled that, water drained out the bottom, the seaweed went down, and 2 shoes floated up to the top. Scared the hell out of me. Seriously. I got up, walked away. Oh my God. Maybe this is this girl's shoes. Well, if you've ever been to the Cliff House in San Francisco, it's a beautiful spot and it's a tourist destination. You're probably parking for 200 cars there. Easy. Sunday. And I thought, I need to go get those shoes and call the police or whatever, do something. I just can't leave them there. So I'm walking over there and I go, but there they are, the shoes. So I reach out with this hand and I put my hand in and I went like this and I went like this with the other shoes and I picked them both up. And you know how if you've had too much alcohol and you've thrown up more and more and more and there's nothing else to throw up and you have something called the dry heaves? Well, that feeling, the dry heaves feeling, came right up my arm like this, just came right up like a snake. And I just started going like that, right, standing on this wall at the water's edge, holding these shoes. So I turn around and there's 2 ladies and a man, and they're standing there looking at me, and I'm like, oh, now what the hell do I do? If I call the police and say, I talked to angels and this is this girl's shoes, and I think they're the girl's shoes, they're going to think I'm a nut, and I'm the guy that, knows where she is or made her disappear or did something. I'm their guy. Nut. So I'm kind of freaked out. Now I got the shoes, I don't know what to do. If I put them down, somebody's going to put them down. If I put them in the car and I'm driving, they pull me over, they see me with these wet girl shoes. You know, go to my place, my fingerprints inside the shoes. I'm like, now what? I figured, well, I asked Daisy. Daisy says she'll protect me. Daisy said she will protect me. Okay. The phone number on the TV show, correction, the phone number on a wanted missing persons poster was for Oakland homicide detective. I called him up at 3:30, said, hi, my name's Sam Bell, I channel Guardian Angels. My guardian angel brought me to this girl's shoes. Well, twice before I'd worked with the officers, police, and generally in New Zealand they're cool. Forestry department, they're cool. Police are kind of like, you know, they're kind of rude. Okay with you, man. So I tell this Oakland homicide detective, I work with angels, my angel brought me to this girl's shoes. Well, he doesn't blow me off. He's really respectful. In fact, he's so respectful, it really frightens me. Just really, really frightened me. This guy took all the time he wanted. He talked to me. He said he'd meet me there tomorrow with his partner. I hang up the phone. I'm like, oh, shoot, now I've done it. No backing out of this one. Called my friend Vince, his brother's special agent, FBI. Vince knows a little bit about security stuff. He said, oh, you're going to prison, man. You're going to prison. You're going to prison. They want to solve that case. You're the guy, if those are her shoes, you said they're her shoes, you touched them, called them up, he'd spend all the time with you, and he's showing up there tomorrow, he says, you're going to prison. You're going to prison. Forget it. I'm like, oh. Next day, I show up there with the two officers. Along with me was Leo Jones. Leo Jones is Fargo Countermeasures. Fargo Countermeasures was a manufacturing company of state-of-the-art cutting-edge surveillance equipment and equipment to locate state-of-the-art surveillance equipment. So I was an instructor with Fargo. He asked me to help. As a matter of fact, it's very cool. I got to find it's just very cool stuff. Got to help the Vatican. Worked with the Monsignor. It's a very interesting story. I don't know if I'll do a story about that one, but it's very interesting. Anyway, so he's very respectful. It's all on video. It's show number 2. Show number 2. Go to Sam Bell's show number 2. That's number 2. 1 is Near Death. Show 2 is this episode, along with Sylvia Brown. My experience with the fabulous Sylvia Brown. He and his partner show up, very respectful. He said, well, we had FBI bloodhounds released south of here, and they came right to this spot. We had different FBI bloodhounds released north of here, and they came to this spot. And what's that dog's name? I forget the dog's name, but it was like Clyde or something. Clyde hates water, and he stuck his nose in that water. He goes, this must be this girl's shoes. And I'm like, yeah, they're, you know. And I'm being totally honest. I got the camera, I'm videoing them, I'm videoing everything that's going on, because I figured, man, my ass is history. They're going to just take me and throw me in prison. You know, detain me, quote. Turn around, put your hands together. They didn't. They were really respectful. Whoa, check that out, man. You know, Vince goes, no, they're just giving you more rope. They know where you are, they know where you live, they're just super, you know, they're watching everything you do, you know. You're gonna bust in the middle of the night and search your house. I'm like, oh, good, just what I need. So, nothing happens. A couple weeks later, about a week later, I get a phone call from the news people, like all in one day. Like, I don't know, I'd say maybe 4 different news groups call, and the detective calls. Correction, I think the homicide detective calls, I'm not sure. It'll happen like right away, bingo. It's just like, nothing's going on, all of a sudden, whack, everything happens. And the parents are flying out from the East Coast somewhere, or back east, and they want to meet me. Okay, so I show up, I show them what's going on, and there's all these cameras and undercover cops and FBI guys pretending they're journalists. Hello. And they're staring at me like, Sylvia's already on their, they're aware of Sylvia and her talents, blessings. So if you have secrets you don't want out, you don't want to, anyway, so they're well aware, and I'm kind of like, and who is this guy? Minister in training with Sylvia, some speech path. He's got a license with Board of Medical Quality Assurance. He's like a real person. He's got offices. Who is this guy? So everybody's staring at me. The camera crew flew out from New York. Expensive equipment is like all the local guys have beat up stuff with tape on it. The ones from New York look like. So. I'm cool. $10,000 reward. And I said to them at the end, at the beginning, he said, I'm not here for the money. I'm just trying to help you. I'm trying to help you, Mrs. whatever your name. I'm just trying to help you. I have a daughter that roughly the same age, and I don't know what would happen if my girl was gone. I'm just here to help you. Okay, so everybody kind of goes away, disappears. Just the East Coast guys are, I got the camera on me. And the mother says to me, I just wanted to tell you, we were on the Sally Jesse Raphael show with Dorothy Allison, and do you know her? I go, no, I don't know who she is. He goes, well, she's a very respected psychic. She works with the FBI. I'm like, oh, okay. Looking at those guys with the camera, they get the little badge. So she said, we walked off stage. The mother says this, we walked off stage, Dorothy Allison wrote down the 3 names, and one of the names was Belle. And we'd find something and get involved. She said, I called the Oakland homicide detective at 3 p.m. Oakland time, Oakland, California time. I called him at 3:30. Of course, nobody tells me. I'm sweating bullets. Okay, so I'm like, okay, well, I solved that one. That's good. I feel good. Well, the reason I'm sharing this story is for 2 years I told people what I did, and people were like, you're full of it, pal. As soon as they saw me on the news, they believed it. My own parents, my own mother, my duck hunting buddies. Buddy. One of them. All the other ones like, we don't know. We're men. Pretty weird. It's a coincidence. I'm like, yeah, right. Coincidence. Want me to channel your angel? Like, no. A little bit of greed there, too. It's not a judgment call, it's an observation. So, from that point on, I figured I need to do media because everybody's brainwashed. If it's not on the tube, they don't believe it. So I, been doing it for years and years and years and years and years. I wonder if, remember the big quarters with the big disc, Now they got the little phones. And now I'm on an iPad. It's really easy. Well, now I'm in Lima, Peru. Actually, Miraflores. Beautiful area of Lima, Peru. If you're a foodie or you'd like to visit ancient places, man, down the road here is a place 5,000 years old. A city, civilization 5,000 years old. Caral, C-A-R-A-L, very cool. Very, very cool. Or if you're into UFO stuff, please. You got to go someplace where, it's necessary to go someplace where you're in touch with your consciousness. It's not going to happen on a military base where you're going to shoot them. So, Here in Lima, Peru, I've got some quality people, a team of people, 2 magnificent artists, Dawn and Sachi, and 2 producers, Jared and Fernando. Fernando will be processing this and doing the translations. So that's why I'm making these. Now, this is the Daisy Show, the Daisy Show. So Daisy's my guardian angel. I can schedule the show. I can record it and release it. Right now it's about 3:30 a.m. on Sunday morning. This will be released Friday at 8. So the Daisy shows are released at Friday at 8. So I can schedule that. I can schedule it ahead of time, which is what I do. So that means my guardian angel can round up other guardian angels. More importantly, they can round up their deceased loved ones on the other side who want to come through in case there's unfinished business. And then there could be a coordination as a group to communicate through these 3 persons, guardian angels, into Daisy, and then from Daisy into me, where I empathically pick it up. I'm what's called clairsentient. Doesn't make me better or smarter. So I'm using my speech and language pathology skills, my neuroscience skills, my blessing to go to the other side, and training by Sylvia Celeste Brown to do my best to bring forward information that's charted so that you can learn your lessons with the least amount of pain. Now I have Brianna, Licia, and Corina. So, you don't know these people, I do. If I describe them and it sounds like you, because anyway, if it sounds like you, it might turn out that a suggestion that Daisy brings through to help them learn their lessons may also apply to you. So I'm not telling you what to do, I'm trying to provide guidance with a spiritual entity that's a messenger. Your guardian angel is a messenger. If you want him to be a protector, they will also be a protector. Okay. Very powerful. So, first person is Brianne, B-R-I-A-N-N-E. Brianne, it's probably Brianne. Brianna? Or it's Kazia, K-A-Z-I-A. I think it's Kazia. Well, hello, Kazia. Kazia, this is not how you perceive yourself. This is not how others perceive you. This is how Divine Source made you. It doesn't make you good. It doesn't make you bad. It's just the way you are. No judgment whatsoever. You are not better than Hitler. You are not worse than Lord Buddha. And I will tell you the important things first. You got one speed, sweetheart. Kazia, you got one speed. Okay? And that one speed is very, very powerful. Okay? So the first thing, you really, 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 really. 6 reallys is the maximum and me normal. Okay? So you're a max, normal. Like to please. Just like to please, like to please, like to please, like to please. Okay? Now that doesn't make you better than somebody that doesn't like to please. Okay? Doesn't make you better. You don't get up in the morning and say, I'm going to like to please. That's the way Divine Source made you. You charted out lessons that are going to fit directly into the desire to like pleasing. That's the way it works. All right? You're the one who charts these lessons. Okay? You don't pick them out of the catalog. Each lesson is specific to you and the persons that are impacted. So the first thing, you really like to please. Next thing, you really, 6 really max can be normal, really. So it's a moderate, max, normal, slight, mild, moderately outside of normal, powerful. Okay? You know, like some people that like to please might build a new doghouse. Well, you're the kind of person that build a new city. Okay? So you got like to please, powerful. Like to please, powerful. These are very in catching qualities for society. Okay? And you're a female. So intelligent and willpower big time. But the motivation to like to please and having control of tremendous power is the important things for you. Okay, that's the important things for the chart that you've charted. Next thing. It would be kind of like, you know, if say you went to a lake, you know, a summer vacation, and it's a lake in the mountains. You know, the snow in the winter, but just so nice in the summer. Trees, boats. And someone's out in the middle of the lake, their raft sinks, and they're out there splashing, yelling, help, 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 right? And people are out standing at the cabins going, oh, look down there, you know, the children down there, they're in an air mattress blew out there, and it's sunk. They're out there screaming. And there's 3 boats. So people are run down to jump in these rowboats. And there's 2 nice boats with big oars. And then there's one little dinky piece of garbage with something like metal paddle, 1 paddle on each side. So, very powerful. Kasia. Willpower. Like to please. So who do they assign to the little boat with the crappy oar? One little tin thing you got to row on each side? You. So that's what it feels like to you. You're like, come on, baby. So, underutilized. And it's not because you're not trying 100%. It's just because the environment around you. Now, there's the 3D dimension earth plane where we are right now. You know, especially when you're looking at a glass screen with my image on it that was recorded in 2020. So we're in 3D right now, looking at this. Eventually, you're going to be in 5th and 6th dimension. Okay, a person like you doesn't hang out in 4th dimension. You're just going to go pop from the 3rd dimension over to the 5th, 6th dimension. Okay? 6th dimension is like the penthouse in heaven. 5th dimension is like more heaven than you can comprehend. 4th dimension is kind of like, you know, it's kind of like you're at the far side of the parking lot at Disneyland, and it's hot. Trying to get the hell out of there. And for people who don't want to go to heaven, that's where they go. And if you've done not nice stuff and you're worried about stuff in heaven, somebody's going to judge if it doesn't happen. You judge yourself just because everything is known over there. You know, it's like nothing's hidden. Hello. And all anybody over there is going to be talking about is who did you love and how did you love them. That's it. So if that wasn't your zone in the 3D, you're like functioning on greed, greed for control, greed for money, greed for stuff, greed for people. When you pass on, you'd be like, oh, what do you know? I didn't die. Actually, I'm more alive now than I was before. All that stuff I did to those people was disrespectful, and that lady that I messed with was a daughter of divine source. Oh. And that gentleman that I messed with, lied to, he is a son of divine source. Oh no. Oh, I'm not leaving fourth dimension, man. I'm staying here. I'm not going up that light. So they don't know that they're not judged by anyone because Earth is a school. They're still stuck on this guilt thing because they don't know who they really are. So, this is not how you perceive yourself. This is not how others perceive you. So the first thing is you max like to please. Moderately outside of normal, powerful. And you're in the 3D, third dimension. So it's like, oh God, I got the stinkiest rowboat with a, dollar store single oar. I got to go out there and save those kids. What the heck? It's just like not good. So that doesn't go away. Actually, you're trying harder right now. You're trying to paddle even faster, trying to paddle even harder. Not for greed for control. It's not a control issue at all. You're just trying to do the right thing as best as you can because you like to. So you're like, a saint. Huh? Now, that doesn't make you anybody who's not a saint. That's just the way Source made you. So that's the kind of lessons that you have. So your lessons are about patience. Now, to back up, this is 3D. Inside you is 5, 6D, fifth dimension, sixth dimension. So you're kind of like uncomfortable here because there's not going to be many people that can be as loving as you. There's not going to be as many people of as much unconditional love alive, resonating as inside them as you. And there's going to be there'll be very few men, but there'll be quite a few women with as much willpower as you. So you combine all those things with elevated consciousness and things will get better. Because right now you're pulling yourself down because you're trying so hard. You're trying so hard because you like to. You're trying so hard, you're pulling yourself down. Not correction, because you're trying to, because you like to. Okay. You don't have to try. Zero try. All like. So nobody's pushing you down. Nobody's holding you down. Kazia is the person who's bringing herself down to be more hardworking and more responsible. Which is very cool when you're 18 or 19 or whatever, but I don't think you're 18 or 19. Okay, it doesn't feel that way. You feel like kind of an old soul, like maybe this is your last lifetime. Okay, you don't have to worry about loving others. That's not a problem. You just need to focus on taking care of yourself. Okay, do something that you like. This story is a frequent story for people that are open to communicate with their guardian angel. But it especially applies to you, okay? Especially applies to you. So, you're not doing anything wrong. You're treating everybody in a loving fashion because you have no other choice, because that's how you actually are made. And you do make time for yourself. Okay, not a lot, but you actually do carve out time for a beautiful person that you are. It's a wonderful package. Now, the only suggestion that your guardian angel is bringing through bringing through is you're already elevating yourself and easing up on yourself. But then I guess you just get a swell or a high tide of responsibility, and you bring yourself back down again to try to cope with all this 3D stuff. Because you don't really belong in 3D, okay? You belong in 5th, 6th dimension. You'd be much more comfortable there, more people you could hang with. So patience is probably the area that you have to function on in this incarnation, to be more patient with other people, okay? For you to be more patient with other people. Now, I would not be surprised, Kazia, I would not be surprised if it's physically impossible for you to comprehend how cognitively under-endowed and bovine males are. So that may, fit in the recipe of what's going on. But what are you going to do? Okay? Patience is what you charted, sweetheart. Okay, you and all your loved ones are always in my prayers. Alrighty, and the next person is Licia. Licia. Hello, Licia, and I'm going to take a break here for just a second, and Man-Made Perfect, Mabel Beatty, for educational purposes. Again, she wrote this from the last word back to the first word. She wrote it all backwards with 5 witnesses, and it's her spirit guide and guardian angel assisted her with this. And I will just pick out a page here, 74, Man-Made Perfect. It will amaze your minds to know that if your eyes were really opened, they would often find quite wonderful companions at your side. For each has his guardian angel, a being quite other than ourselves, as a guide and protector. On that topic, I don't see Daisy. I have seen beings from the other side, and they were just as real as the people you see walking down the street. And I didn't know that they were not seen by everybody else till later, and it just made me feel very uncomfortable. I didn't like that. I don't want to see entities from the other side. So I've requested Daisy to protect me from seeing those entities. I have been poked and touched by entities that love me and I love after they've been deceased. Nothing rough or anything, but just a poke like this, just a definite poke like that. And I have seen dogs, pet dogs, come from the other side, from the 5th, 6th dimension. I was at bedside with a gentleman when he passed, and a Cocker Spaniel came out of the ceiling, jumped on the bed. I described it to his wife and sons. They burst into tears. That was his dog that he loved. They were so happy that they had confirmation that he got to heaven and that there is another side. So, Licia, this is not how you perceive yourself. This is not how others perceive you. This is how Divine Source made you. It doesn't make you good. It doesn't make you bad. It's just the way you are. No judgment whatsoever. You're not better than Hitler. You're not worse than Lord Buddha. And I will tell you the important things first. You got one speed, sweetheart. What you see is what you get. You really, 6 really is the maximum normal. Really? So it's a slight diagnosis outside of normal. Try to please. Try to please. Okay? Try to please. Try to please. Try to please. Try to please. Big time. Slightly outside normal. That doesn't make you better than somebody who doesn't give a hoot. You don't get up in the morning and say, I'm going to try to please. No. That's the way Source made you. Okay? Next thing, you really, 6 releases back to be normal, and I'm not going past 6, it's just max normal. Like to please. Like to please. So you try to please slightly outside normal, and you like to please max normal. Okay? That's pretty rare. You don't find that in heaven, yeah, but in the 6th dimension all day long. But down here on the earth plane, just usually they're in the healing arts, healing people, because they're so loving, big time, kind of out of touch with the riffraff, you could say. Not that you're better, but we're all equal. We're all in this school together. 5th graders aren't any better than 1st graders. You've just been around, learned a little more. Okay. So, not complicated. I'm not going to go on and on about how great you are, how wonderful you are, how loving you are, how generous you are. I'm not. I'll just say you're elite. Okay. Now, a suggestion from your guardian angel, okay, who's been at your right-hand side, who's been witnessing all the stuff that's going on. They're just going to watch. And so since you have signed your name, you've given your guardian angel authorization to hang with Daisy, my guardian angel. They're telepathic, like railroad rails, like information, solid. More solid than oral speech on the earth plane. And then Daisy sends it to me. Daisy and I have been kind of close, so we have something you could call entanglement. Entanglement. So when your guardian angel gives the information to Daisy, Daisy already has a bond with me. A bond isn't the right word, but it's clairsentience, that sort of thing. And then I'm empathic. So I'm like, okay, I'm open, and then it comes in. I'm ready for it, and we are doing as we have been trained to help people learn their lessons with the least amount of pain. So now, Licia, sweetheart, you're not doing anything wrong. You're just doing too much, okay? Totally too much. That's 3 totallys. Now, when I say totally, I mean totally. And you say totally of what? Totally of Licia. All the energy all the time and energy that you spend, Alicia, is not with Alicia inside. Inside you is not with inside you. It's outside. Trying to please, liking to please, making things beautiful, healing people. Okay? So you already learned to love everyone. That's already there in you. It's like stamped on the, imprinting from the beginning. You love everybody. And you love yourself. You treat yourself in a loving fashion, but you don't make any time for yourself. It's a little bit of thing. You don't make any time for yourself. Okay? You love yourself just as much as you love everybody else. You're not doing anything wrong. You're just not making any time for yourself. Now I'm saying making any time instead of carving it out. But basically you're going to have to get a jackhammer and blast out some walls to make, 5 minutes for Licia. Okay? Loved one? So I'm kind of laying a little, Licia guilt trip on you that, come on. All right? So, for someone like yourself has severely impacted your own personal time because you're so loving and helping everybody and treating everybody in a loving fashion. You don't even make 4 seconds a day for yourself. You don't even have the idea to make some time for yourself. I got to do this, 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 I got to do this. When I got that, now I got to do this, I got to do this. Well, when you do get to the other side, you're going to heaven. Don't worry about that, sweetheart. You're going to really, 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 really nice place. Okay? Best seats in the house. They're also going to ask you, besides who did you love, what did you do loving for yourself? What intentions did you have to love yourself? What actions did you take to love yourself? And when you were in the third dimension, time and space, Lysia, what did you do with the time that you made for yourself that was a loving fashion to treat yourself in a loving fashion? Well, that list might not be that long. You know, what you did for others, that's a long list. You could fill, 1,000 Walmart trucks with Post-it notes. I did this, 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 I did, But the list of things that you did with the time you made for yourself is gone. There's nothing there, Yeah, when you were 8, 9, 10, 7, 8, and in that age, you probably did wonderful things for yourself with the time you had. But now it's like gone. So you're going to have to start carving out 4 seconds a day. Here's the doctor's order. 4 seconds a day, Alicia. 4 seconds to do something for yourself. So the first week, at the end of the week, 30 seconds. You're going to make yourself sit down, do something for 30 seconds that you would like to do. Okay? And what will happen is, gradually you'll start to not feel guilty about, oh my God, I stopped and went to the bookstore, got a tea and sat there and read a book. 20 minutes. Haven't done that in ages. And you won't feel guilty about it because you're supposed to treat yourself in a loving fashion. That's the purpose of coming to this planet. You didn't come to this planet to learn to love others. You already learned that from the get-go. You came to this planet, this incarnation, to learn patience and to treat yourself in a loving fashion by making time for yourself. You already love yourself. There's not a question of loving yourself, just a question of making time for yourself. Now, I'm going to be gentle about this, sweetheart, okay? Everything I said is accurate. Now, I want you to take that. Remember, they used to have these little things where you could cut these things out of the coloring book, and then you'd have like a little soldier, or a little horse, or a dress for a girl. Could make it put a little. Well, I just want you to understand that if you were using scissors and cutting out those little lines, let's say you're cutting out an apron for the dolly or whatever, you really would cut it correctly. You wouldn't be able to tell where the scissors, didn't meet. It'd just be smooth. Control. You like control. I know that's a horrible thing. People hate that. But it's true, sweetheart. You like control. You desire control. You mandate control. And not for bad reasons, It's not for greed. You just want things to be right. And you're so loving. And you like to please. And you have big passion, big power. So, you're going to have to give up some control. I don't want you to take control of yourself and say, I'm going to make 4 seconds of myself. There's more control than I'm going to make. But no. That's just compounds everything. Because you're going to try to do all the stuff you're doing now and then also make time for yourself at the same time. You just jam it in there. I'm saying control inside you, inside your heart region. The thing that functions, makes your blood pressure go, your body temperature happen, your digestion, the cells of your body that everyone loves, the you that everyone loves and knows, the being. Well, you need to take care of that, okay? You're the one responsible for treating yourself in a loving fashion. And the place to start is meditate. It's okay. Meditate. And what'll happen is stuff that's been pestering you, you've been repeating over and over, it's not getting better. answers will kind of bubble up, and it might turn out that the answer was always there, but because you were jamming so much, you couldn't see it. So, meditate, young lady. Meditate, sweetheart. Meditate. It's okay. And it might be a walking meditation at first. Just walk. Okay. Fernando, please send Alicia a English meditation, please. Send her English and a Spanish. Actually, send everybody English and a Spanish, because if they don't speak Spanish, they can share it with somebody else. And vice versa. Okay, Alicia. Now, I'm sorry I kind of, pounded on you a little bit there that, you like control and you're doing too much. Okay. But you're not hurting anybody. There's a lot of people who love you for what you're doing. Okay? And the people that love you for who you are inside, there's a handful of them. You could spend a little more time with them, and that will help you. Okay? Especially now at this time. It's a challenging time for everyone. The coronavirus is locking down the planet, and the economy is going in the tank, and the resources for the survival may be becoming limited for some reason. So those are kind of man-made type things. You factor in a little geological things, atmospheric things, and the physical vehicle of the human being is going to be even more stressed, more debilitated. And if you're familiar with health, stress does not help your health. Stress does not help your cardiovascular. It doesn't help. Your sleep, it doesn't help. So when you meditate, when you go inside, when you use your mind to control your brain, and you have a relationship with your physical, your suit of flesh, your body, a healthy relationship, the stress goes away organically. And you've already got the willpower. And you've already got the unconditional love. And you already have the ability to focus, big time. So it's just a matter of carving out the time to sit, chill for a little bit, do some breathing, big time, in through the nose, out through the mouth. See, your breathing is automatic, so when you focus on your breathing, it's kind of like taking control of your brain. You taking control of your brain, and when you take control of that, your body goes, oh, look, somebody's taking control of the breathing. Someone's paying attention to us. Someone's physically trying to do something to reduce stress. That is you. Alicia. Okay? A little bit at a time, you'll be fine. You and all your loved ones are always in my prayers. All right. All right, we're just about an hour here. Corina. Corina, this is not how you perceive yourself. This is not how others perceive you. This is how Divine Source made you. It doesn't make you good. It doesn't make you bad. It's just the way you are. No judgment whatsoever. You're not better than Hitler. You're not worse than Lord Buddha. And I will tell you the important things first. Well, wow. Once again, we've saved the best for last, just as a coincidence. You are a sweetheart. Wow, Corina, ooh, baby. Okay, so you really, excuse me if I'm rushing, really? That's 6 really is maximum normal? Really, so it's a slight, mild, moderate diagnosis outside of normal, like to please. That's your whole thing. It's like an arrow. This arrow is only designed to fly through the air. You're like an arrow. It's like, you're the whole story there. You like to please. Okay? Next thing, you really is meant to be normal. Slight diagnosis outside of normal. Intelligent. Okay? Likes to please like a nut. Ultra intelligent. Okay? Next thing, no issues with control. Because you're just like doing your own thing so well that, you know, nobody's going to try to control you. Forget it. It's not going to happen. You're like, you're just doing your thing, making it right, whatever it is. Exactly the way you want to. That's your story. And you come fully prepared for anything. It's pretty cool. Just because you're so loving and intelligent. Loving and intelligent. It's a big time loving and intelligent. Also, you're basically not of this earth spiritual. You're like already fifth, sixth dimension. Okay? You're not someone that's normally found on the planet at this time. Okay? However, even though you're basically fifth, sixth dimension, you can bring yourself down to actually fit in the 3D dimension. Okay, so that's kind of where you are. Okay. It's kind of like if you had a 10-speed and you just rode from, New York to Los Angeles, and you got to LA and somebody gave you, a nice girl's bike with training wheels. So it's like you're riding a bike with training wheels out here in the third dimension. But basically you're like, super fine. So you're working that out. Good luck. It's like you're a professional alligator petter. You pet alligators, remember, they like to get pet by you. It's like, wow, check that out. Alligator petter, I like to visualize that one, alligator petter. So, now, incredibly spiritual, there's no words I can describe how you are inside. And for people that just see you on the 3D level, they probably don't even see it. But major spiritual. Now, that's the story, okay? It's not complicated, You see a wallet on the street, you're going to run to it to pick it up to try to return it to the person with the money in it. Okay? That's 100% what you're going to do. Okay. Now, your guardian angel's like, knock, knock, knock. And we have a suggestion for this, saint, this alligator petter. And that is, now, it would be kind of like if you see these WWW wrestlers, these guys that, they come out with the crazy outfit, do all this stuff, and beat on their chest, and throw the guy over the ropes, that kind of stuff. It'd be kind of like if you saw one of those guys, and just before they were walking out there, somebody's like, he's ripping his shirt off. He's holding a little newborn. He's like, oh, this is so cute, this baby, I love this baby. That's kind of how you are, okay? You're so powerful, right? But people don't see that sensitive part in the, let me back up. Let me start this over again. Let me start over. The reason you're so shot out of a cannon loving and liking to please to such a profound degree is you're stubborn. Okay, you're stubborn. You plant your feet and say you're not going to do something, you're like, I'm not going to do it. And the same thing is if you plant your feet and say, I'm going to do it, you do it. Okay? So, on the suggestion side, you're not doing anything wrong. You're not going to improve. You can't improve. You're like so fine. Maybe you could become a little less stubborn. Okay? Stubborn. stubborn. It's okay. Now what happens is, it's the ability to just back away slowly and not focus on the stupid stuff that's going on. Just let it happen. Okay? I think Churchill would say, Winston Churchill would say, ignore barking dogs. I think that's another way to look at it. So, as you go through your day, as you exhibit your unconditional love, which is unlimited, limitless, unconditional love, that's where you're coming from, and that's where you're acting upon in the 3D. And you're coming from the real deal 5D, 5th dimension, 6th dimension. Sometimes you'll decide, I'm going to be, no way, give me the keys, no way. And so it's kind of stubborn-ish, okay? It's not evil or anything, but it's a little bit stubborn. So the suggestion is, when you're around your loved ones and you're going to lay down the law, be more gentle, okay? Don't be so, See, if you were grumpy and, mean all the time, people wouldn't care if you were, kind of stubborn. But you're not. You're super loving, super generous, super wonderful. So then when you become stubborn all of a sudden, it's kind of like, ooh, what happened to her? Did you see her punch that guy? Ooh, wow, I never thought she'd take off her shawl and get out of her, clogs and madras and knock the bejeebers out of that guy for being an idiot. I'm glad she did, but wow, check that out. She just took a full swing and smacked him. So it's not the behavior, it's not the feelings, it's not the emotions that you show, but you can at some point become really stubborn. So it's got you here to be the beautiful person that you are, but there's still going to be a lot of stuff that you need to be stubborn about. So if you just kind of stop worrying about being the stubborn part and just kind of backing away from the issues, backing away from that stuff, you don't get involved in that. Because right now, the world is kind of messed up. We've got biological weapons, mechanical weapons, weapons in space. Hello? So, being super stubborn in that environment is not very healthy. It's best just to try to back away. I'm going towards meditation, right? Back away, do some inner working, okay, loved one? And you are one fine, fine person. Very, very nice to meet you. Karina, you and all your loved ones are always in my prayers. Okay, this is the Daisy Show. If you would like a private reading with me, go to the website, sambellshow.com. And Sam Bell Show, I've got programs that aren't Daisy Show. And these programs include near-death experiences, locating missing people, helping a daughter unite with her father that she's looking for 37 years. That's show number 3. That's a very cool show. And some other shows. It's very exciting, very exciting. But they're not like the Daisy Show. The Daisy Show is where I do 3 guardian angels. The Sam Bell shows, which are on the website, are actual events that I'm out there doing with the public. I guess you could call it proof that the angels are reciprocating. Okay. You and all your loved ones are always in my prayers. Thank you.